Welcome to another episode of How's It Going? In this video I want to talk about animal rights in Southeast Asia and being a vegetarian while traveling around countries in Southeast Asia. But let's start with 3 dishes you can order in Cambodia. Did you know you can order barbecued rat, fried tarantulas, and duck embryos? Okay, but if you think I don't care about animal rights and if I travel around Southeast Asia, I want to try every food they have and all the special dishes you can get. If this is your opinion, I can totally understand this as well, but before you leave the video, please go to that info card and tell me if you think that you can only experience Southeast Asia if you try all the main dishes they have. Just click on yes. If this is not your opinion, click on no. I'm really interested to see the results. Anyways, we met some vegetarians who stopped being vegetarian while traveling around Southeast Asia. But I also told you I want to be a little bit more personal in my How's It Going videos, so 4 facts about me. I'm really into animals since I was a kid already, and I think whenever there is an animal around, this makes my day. But I'm only vegetarian since 3.5 years. Before I was eating quite a lot of meat. I was actually swallowing chickens. Verena is vegetarian since 16 years already. 3. The reason why I'm not eating meat is simply because I don't want to have any animals killed for me anymore. I'm actually watching a lot of videos about meat production in a Western society. And another reason is that I believe that this huge amount of meat we produce is really not good for the environment. Fact number 4, I love all these like veggie schnitzels, veggie kebab. There are so many alternatives you can eat. Many of them are even vegan. We just went to this amazing vegan Vietnamese restaurant. Veggie burgers, all this stuff. I'm really into this and I try a lot of different food over here. There's actually too much food I love to try. Okay, but back to the topic, back to Southeast Asia. When you travel around Southeast Asia, you can actually try almost every kind of species you want to eat. I'm allowed to say this as we traveled around many countries in Southeast Asia and as I am half Indonesian. Cow, pork, noses of pigs, shark, snakes, mussels, chicken, and those things? What the f***? Okay, and here's my opinion about that. If you walk through markets in Southeast Asia, you can see a lot. There's so much meat, and the way they deal with meat is much better, I believe, than in the Western world. So they kill an animal and you can see like heads of pigs, feet, intestines. The smell is disgusting. They even kill chicken in front of you. Like people are ordering a chicken, they would kill it and sell it. But I believe this is such a better way to deal with meat, as first of all, people actually see where the meat comes from. They see that an animal actually has to be killed, that you're able to eat it. They are confronted with the natural way how to produce meat. And another thing which is really good is that they actually finish the whole animal. So seriously, I saw people who bought a freaking head of a pig or the feet. So this is stuff we wouldn't even touch. We just want the good parts and that's it. So this is such a better way to deal with meat production than, for example, this shit. But sometimes I also believe that in Southeast Asia or in Asia in general, they go a little bit too far. For example, if you see this is a liquor and there is a freaking snake inside. There were like lizards inside as well. I'm not really sure what to do with this, but I think it's a liquor you just drink as a shot or something. Someone told us the story. They went to a place and there was this big bottle with liquor and there was a freaking raven inside. This is disgusting. Yes, we also saw tourists who bought bottles of snake liquor. And this is also a little bit too much. You see this frog or toad inside the plastic bag. It was still alive when they were selling it. And this one you probably know if you traveled around Thailand already, freaking scorpions. So of course I can understand that different cultures or people living in poorer countries, many times you don't always care about animal rights. But what I believe is that we as backpackers or tourists are also responsible for this. As animal rights are different in Southeast Asia compared to countries like Germany, European countries, United States, Australia, Canada. It also means that it's okay if animals suffer in a way. This is the reason why you can go to tiger temples or ride elephants and stuff like this. In other words, as long as we as rich Western people going to Southeast Asia and riding a freaking elephant around the temples of Angkor Wat, seriously, you can do this. Or as long as you go to temples where you can see over those tigers which are not able to move. Short note, I believe that they closed almost every temple, so I'm really happy this happened. Or as long as you buy a freaking fried scorpion on Khao San Road. As long as all this happens, the people try to make money and they will make this service available. So just for us, because we pay for it. But again, what is your opinion about that? I'm really happy to read your comments. Do you think this is part of the experience? This is Southeast Asia as you want to experience it? Or do you think it's also our responsibility to change it in a way? And now just a little advice for every vegetarian traveling around Southeast Asia. I get some questions about this topic every now and then. For example, like this. Thanks for making this video. I'd love to know more about your experience being a vegetarian, traveling this part of Indonesia. So just to summarize, countries in Southeast Asia are quite easy to travel as a vegetarian. I heard different stories about places in China, for example, or when we traveled around Madagascar, you could eat a lot of meat and they wouldn't have many alternatives. But from our experience, I can tell you that countries like Thailand, Indonesia, where you get a lot of tofu and tempeh, you need to try this. Malaysia, which is a dream for vegetarians. I think those countries are quite easy to travel as a vegetarian. Cambodia was a little bit harder. You could get vegetarian food, but you could also pay quite a lot for those alternatives. Cambodia is a country where they eat a lot of different meat. Vietnam was also not as easy, as they use a lot of bones to cook the stock for the soup, or they use a lot of fish sauce for cooking. So this wasn't easy all the time, but of course possible. And Laos is like somewhere in between. I don't really remember, but we survived. And just a recommendation, if you want to travel Cambodia, this book, First They Killed My Father, is amazing. They tell you all about the history of Cambodia, where they killed like so many people. Seriously, the history is terrible, but you also understand why they are happy to eat whatever they can eat, as they didn't have food for a long period. Thank you for watching this video. Please post a comment if you have a question about this topic, or if you have a different opinion, or if you have the same opinion. I'm happy to hear that. If you know any great veggie dish you can eat in Southeast Asia and you want to recommend, please post a comment. Please give me a thumb up if you like this kind of video, and if you want to see more travel videos, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. And I will finish this video with a seriously disgusting video about frogs we have seen in Vietnam. Seriously, click on this video and go away if you don't want to see this, because it was really like hard to see.